Okay, boys and girls, today you are going to work through a self-guided lesson at your own pace. Our goal is we're going to practice cause and effect relationships, and then we're also going to show or create a snow melt model. And so let's start with our opening task for today, which is the cause and effect checkup. So you're going to go into the date. Sorry, let me get rid of that. It's not what I wanted. So I'm going to go into August 24th to the 28th. And first thing I need to do is the checkup. So I want you to take a moment, pause the video, do the checkup, and then check back in. Okay, so our objective for today is to create a model of why snow melts. So before we talked a lot about surfaces, but now we've gotten to the idea that different surfaces melt at different rates. What I want us to do is put the surfaces aside, and we're going to focus on just what is happening inside snow that causes it to melt, okay? And to get ready for this assignment, we're going to review assignment expectations, rewatch the intro to modeling video, review an example model, and then you're going to work on your own model, okay? So let's look at the directions, if you'd like to have a copy in front of you, are in here. Intro to modeling, snow melt model. And so you'll see at the top here, our job is to create a model to explain why does snow melt, okay? And this should look familiar because we've gone over this. Shows a change over time, shows all steps in the process. So we want to show the change that we're showing is melting. It's a multi-step process. So your model should have a before, a during, and after. And we'll look at an example in a moment. It needs to show what's happening, the effect, snow melting, and a zoom in that shows the unseen parts of snow. And then shows how melting happens. Remember, this is from our cause effect. The mechanism is like the process by which things melt. So yesterday in our food coloring activity, we looked at the process that causes the food coloring to mix, and that was the moving of the molecules. Okay, and then why snow melts, the cause of melting, and then explain what your model shows in words, and then possible vocabulary could include, not that you have to include all of this, but there might be some vocabulary here that you feel like will help you explain your model. All right, so now what I'd like you to do is take a moment, pause, and watch the movie either from here or it's also in Google Classroom. Okay, so take a moment and review the video about modeling. Okay, now let's take a look at the example. We've seen this example a few times. So this is how we hear. We've got a title. A person sings, should be an S on there. Number 2, sound waves travel through the air. 3, waves enter the ear and vibrate in the eardrum. So there's 1, 2, 3 steps, or you can think of it as before, during, after. And we've got an unseen item here with the sound waves. And so if we just go through these, the change is shown over time by steps 1, 2, and 3. What is being shown is the effect that we're hearing sound is the effect. The why we hear sound is the eardrum vibrating. And then shows what's happening. This is the air moving, or the wave moving through the air is the how. And then our model needs to explain in words. Well, we've got that here. The captions underneath are the explanations, and then vocab, eardrum, sound waves, vibrate. So if we come back to our lab that we did last week, we learned from our observations or made inferences from our observations that water's made of small pieces, the tiny pieces stick together, and the pieces are moving. So you're going to use all of your resources here, okay? The assignment directions. Can reread that. I would suggest you reread that yourself. The video on modeling. Slow it down and watch it again if you need to. Look more closely at the example. And then you're going to use all of that to create your snow melt model and turn it in. So if we look at our model here, like you've got the example on the page for you. And then you'll see down here that you can do your drawing in your notebook and then insert a picture. Make sure that you show 3 scenes, so the before, the after, the during, or excuse me, the before, during, and after. And then also make sure that you are cropping your drawing and you're taking a close picture of what you want me to see and then crop out any parts that you don't need. And kind of a cool feature, and I'm not sure if you can do this on an iPad or not, but if I have a screenshot like this and I double click 1, 2, then I should be able to go and move that and crop it as big as I want, or small as I want, excuse me. So that's it. That's your task for today. You guys can move at your own pace. This assignment, this snow melt model, is due tomorrow. Okay, so on Wednesday. Thank you for listening. Let me know if you have any questions.